All right, welcome back to Humboldt, Saskatchewan. I'm standing with a man that needs little introduction, Mr. Sheldon Kennedy. Thanks for joining us here in your morning this morning.
Well, thanks for having me.
I watched you last night at the vigil, speaking to people afterwards, and they are drawing something from you. Can you feel that?
Yeah, I can feel that. I really don't know what it is, but I think they know that probably we can relate to their pain. I would have to think that that's what it is because, I know when I was talking about coming out here with my other half and friends, is that they just said, Sheldon, I couldn't understand what it was, why people said, oh, it's so important that you go there. And I guess it's because they know that I can relate to this and the other guys that were with us could relate to this.
You've spent most of your time since landing here yesterday at the hospital, talking to the families, talking to the survivors of this horrific crash. What are they asking you? What are they dealing with?
Well, there's just, so much fear of the unknown, and there's so much pain, and there's still so much shock that was in that hospital. But I think that the other thing that we know very well is the survivor's guilt. The shame and the confusion that they have that they're still here and their teammates and their friends aren't. And even with the families, why is it that my son is still here and my daughter is still here? And I think that was a big struggle for people. And it was really, the visit was impactful because they were allowed to ask those questions. How did you get out of this? What did you do to get out of this? How long did it take? And we know that these scars are deep, and we know that the length of healing, is long. And we always hear the cliche of scars last a lifetime, and with these types of things, that's true. But there is a way out, and I think if we wanted to bring anything to this, Anne-Marie, was we wanted to bring a little bit of hope. Right? That they could see us that came through this, and it's going to be okay. And that's what we kept trying to instill in them, that you're going to be okay.
Sheldon, can I draw on your personal experience for a little bit? What is it that these young men would be feeling, and what will they be facing in the coming days and weeks?
Well, I think one of the biggest things, what I experienced and what we experienced was, they're still trying to understand what happened. This is still new. Everybody's in survival mode right now, and I think when everything settles down here, there's going to be a massive grieving process, and that's what we know about trauma. Is sometimes it takes time. It takes people different times, and it affects people differently. And with this horrible accident, it's no different. And I think that that they're going to need our support for a long time, and I think they know that too.
The mayor said yesterday he'd been on the phone with the mayor from Swift Current, and the mayor from Swift Current said they're still dealing with the after effects of that. They also mentioned that although the team is finished for this season, they're not participating anymore in any way. They are planning to rebuild for next season. How do they rebuild?
Well, we know these towns in Saskatchewan and these communities, as we saw in that vigil last night. There's a lot of resiliency out here, and I think, you're going to have to draw on the strength of the whole league. You're going to have to draw on the strength of leagues across the provinces. I know with Swift Current, all the teams gave us players so that we could finish the season, and I think that might be something that they do. But they'll find a way to to move on, and I think they have to move on. That's got to be part of healing. It's got to be part of healing is being able to move on, never forget. But we have to be able to find a way out of that darkness to be able to live our life and to be able to be there for the other people that are in our life.
Well, you've meant a lot to the people in this community, and I know the players and the families out at the hospital. Thanks for coming by your morning this morning.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
All right, stay with us here at Your Morning. We're going to continue to bring you interviews and conversations with people from the community of Humboldt the day after the vigil. This is Monday morning. This is a new week for them. Schools are closed, but we'll continue to speak with people as they come here to this arena to both grieve and to remember.